Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on a super practical part of my handmade business, how I organize and use SKU numbers for all of my handmade products. If you've ever felt overwhelmed checking people out at a busy event, then this tutorial might just help bring you a little bit of calm. Let's dive in. If you're new to the channel, my name is Lauren. I am the fiber artist, quilter, and small business owner behind Garden Girl Studio. I attend a lot of markets, and I love sharing small business tips to help your markets become more successful. So here's the scoop. When I'm at a market, I'm not always the only one who's cashing people out in my booth. Sometimes I have to run and take a break. Sometimes I just need a little snack, or I just need to walk around and get out. So sometimes my husband or my dad, garden dad, will help cash people out in my booth. And they don't always know what every single one of my products is because I'm the one making the products. But they can input easy little SKU numbers into the system to cash people out when I just need a minute or a break, or if I'm not there. I've created a simple system to keep everything organized, searchable, and easy at checkout. So here's my system. I have SKU numbers for all of my products. Each SKU number is generally 4 to 5 digits. Here's how I come up with those digits. The first digit is the product category. For example, in my system, if the first digit is 1, it means that the item is apparel of some kind, sweatshirts, hats, and so on. If the first digit is a 2, that means it's kitchenware. It might be placemats, table runners, cup cozies, things like that, and so on, for all of the different categories and all the different products that I have. The second digit is the type of product in that category. If my code is 43 something something, then that's 4 is embroidery hoop, 3 is a 3-inch embroidery hoop, so that's the type of product. If it was 46, then it would be a 6-inch embroidery hoop. And the last 2 to 3 digits represent the design, the color, what makes that product a little bit different. So if my code is 4606, then the 06 represents that 6-inch embroidery hoop says lashes long, coffee strong. If it's 4607, the 07 represents that it's changed the world, start with coffee. That's the design on the 6-inch embroidery hoop. So first digit is the category, second digit is the type of item in that category, and the third, fourth is going to be the design, the color, the fabric pattern, and so on for that product. You can also use letters with your SKUing system. So for example, for my jewelry, I start all of my jewelry SKUs with a J, and then I have a series of usually 3 numbers. If it's a pair of earrings, it'll be J1. 1 indicates that it's an earring. If it was a necklace, it'd be J2, and the last 2 digits are my price. So J125 is a $25 pair of earrings. J225 would be a $25 necklace, and so on. So you can also use those last numbers to indicate a price. Some people will even use like a year. So if it's important to you to know when you made a certain product or piece of art, you can incorporate a year into your SKU numbers. You can incorporate different batches, die lots, whatever happens to work for you and your system. You just want to stay consistent. So if the first digit is always your category, let it always be your category. If it's always the year that you made the product, then let that be consistent. That way you have a good system and you can keep building and growing your inventory. I also create general SKUs for when I need to just quick input something on the spot. So for example, I have 4499. That indicates 4 is again embroidery hoop. 4-inch embroidery hoop is the second number. 99 is just a general number. I don't have 99 different 4-inch hoops. For if someone comes into my booth and they want a custom order. Usually my 4-inch hoops are my hometown. So let's say it's a hometown that I don't carry, but I'm putting in a custom order. I'm going to embroider their specific hometown. It gives me an easy input so that I can get them cashed out. I can get their custom order ready so that I can ship it out to them later. So it just gives me a little bit of flexibility if I don't have that exact item in my system. If I need to customize something or do a personalization, it allows me to cash them out easily, to put in the order easily, and then I can take notes by hand on exactly what we're doing to customize. And it makes it so that my inventory will track exactly what I am selling. So I still will know that I'm selling a 4-inch embroidery hoop so that I can keep track of my stats and my analytics and know exactly what's selling. If I were to just type in the number manually, I might not remember exactly what I sold, and it wouldn't go under that category's analytics in my system, even if I left a description in the Square Reader. So before I add anything into Square, I keep track of my SKUs and my inventory in a simple spreadsheet. That way I can avoid duplicates, catch input mistakes, and bring a printed copy with me to markets in case the Wi-Fi is bad or if I need to look something up quickly. Okay, so let's do an example for how I would add a new item into my inventory. I'm gonna walk you through how I would add it to my spreadsheet, how I'm gonna input it into my Square system, and how it would work for checkout. So I wanted to show you the spreadsheet that I use to track my inventory. I keep track of the SKU number for each of the items in my inventory, the category that SKU number is representing, or for each product, what the item actually is, if it has a specific color, pattern, maybe different fabric design. I have a general inventory count here, but really I rely on the Square Reader to keep track of my inventory. As long as Square is tracking it, I'm a happy camper. This doesn't always get updated. I'll have in here if there is a specific price for each item and if that item has a deal like a buy one, get one free, and so on, or any sort of notes I want to take. Now you can see here that my SKU numbers are generally 4 digits long, and the first item is going to be consistent for each category. So here's my apparel category. All of the SKU numbers for all of these apparel items is a 1. The second item number is going to change depending on what the item is. So 10, knit hat. 11 is going to be a mama sweatshirt. And these last 2 digits are going to indicate the color or the design. So 1001 is a apparel knit hat in Heather Strawberry, and it's going to be a sunflower design. So let me show you how I'm going to add a new product to this inventory just so you can get an idea. I am going to be adding embroidered bracelets soon to my products. So I'm going to add a new SKU number for those bracelets. You can see all of my jewelry begins with J. So for our bracelets, we're going to be using J. Looks like for earrings, it's J1. Necklaces is J2. Pendants is J3. So my next available category number is going to be 4. So it's going to be J4. And my last 2 digits are the price. So J122 is an earring, that's $22. J235 is a necklace, that's $35. So let's do a bracelet that's $25. I don't know, I'm making it up. I haven't made them yet. So let's see how this goes. I'm going to add in the other information here. So again, it's just jewelry. I'm going to add for the variation, it's going to be a bracelet. And the price, $25. I don't have any made yet, but we could just say 1 just for giggles. Just so you can see how you would add all of your information in for a new product. Now you can see this isn't a duplicate of anything that I have created before. You can see this is totally different. So J4 is its own category for bracelets. So let's head on over to Square dashboard so that we can add it into our actual system that we're going to use at markets. Once you're into your Square system, you're going to see that there's a little menu on the left-hand side if you're on your desktop. You're probably going to have home, items and services, payments and invoices, online, customers, reports, and so on. You're going to click onto the items and services button, and it's going to bring you to this menu here, okay? This is where I have all of my inventory in my Square Reader that is accessible for anyone to cash people out as they're working at my booth. So in order to add new products, we're going to click on this Create Item button to create a new item. This is a physical good. It's a bracelet. If you had a product that wasn't a physical good, let's say it's food or beverage, if this was an event sales, maybe a workshop, a digital product or a donation, you could change that item type here, but I'm guessing you're probably selling a physical good. So the next thing I'm going to do is name my product embroidered, did I spell it right? Embroidered bracelet. Okay. You can add a description here. You can add a photo. I'm not going to worry about either of those items. We're just going to add embroidered bracelet. I do need to change the taxes. I keep track of the sales tax wherever I'm selling. This isn't clothing, so I'm going to uncheck clothing. There we go. And then I'm going to add a category. So yes, it's suggesting. I could just click this quick suggest button because it's jewelry. It's amazing how smart Square is. But if you didn't have a suggestion popping up, you're just going to click select. And you're going to click on the category that you want the product to fall under. If you don't have categories yet, you can create those out in the main menu. I'll show you how to do that as well. I'm going to go down until I find jewelry, check jewelry, and press done. Now it's categorized under the jewelry section in my inventory. If this was something where I had different sizes, different colors and materials that I wanted to keep track of, you could add those options here. But we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to add our SKU number. So based on our spreadsheet that we just made, we're going to upload our new SKU number. It's going to be J425. If for whatever reason you have a duplicate SKU number and somehow your inventory is just, I don't know, it's just off, it will let you know. It will not let you duplicate SKU numbers. So you're going to have a unique SKU number for every single one of your items, and Square is going to know how to detect that. Right here, we're going to go ahead and put $25 because that's what we decided we want our price to be. And I highly recommend managing your stock. Now, I don't have any stock at the moment, but we're going to pretend that I've made one bracelet. So you're going to go ahead and click tracking, select reason. You can say stock received, even if you're a handmade maker, technically. I don't know, you're kind of receiving it. We're going to add 1 to say that there's 1 piece of stock that you've received, and press done. Now it's going to say that there's 1 item on hand, meaning that you have 1 item in your inventory. And again, there's a lot of other options here, modifiers, attributes, checkout behavior. I don't worry about any of it. We're just going to press save. It's that simple. Once this is here, if you ever needed to add a new category, again, your items menu, categories, you can go ahead and you can create a new category here. You're just going to give a category name, and you can add whatever item. So if you've already created your, say, your bracelet, but you didn't have a jewelry category, you can go and search here for your items and add them in. And you can use the search bar to help you out. We have it, so I'm going to just X out of there, but don't forget to hit save. And you can see, if I go back to my item library, we do a quick search for J425, it's going to pop right up. Okay, so we can do modifications, we can edit, we can duplicate this if we wind up having more, and say, usually I'll duplicate it if I have like a price change. Let's say I have a bracelet, it's going to be $30. I'll just duplicate this entry. And then I'll scroll down and I will just change the price and the SKU number. So that would be J430. Price is going to be $30. Okay, don't forget to manage your stock. Select reason, stock received. Let's say I made 3 of them. We've got 3 bracelets made, done. Means I've got 3 on hand. And we don't need this 01 here. Save. Okay, so now I've got a new item with a different price point for $30. Okay, it's that easy to add more. Sometimes the stock doesn't pop up. I don't know why it does that, and I have to do a second time. So just come down here, 3 on hand. Just press, you can just, if it's still not working, just press inventory recount, 3, done, save. It's a weird square glitch, but then it'll pop right up. So just kind of refresh it and it'll come right back in. Okay, so now I want to show you exactly how you're going to check people out on your Square machine at markets and how easy this is. So how do I know which SKUs to use when I'm actually cashing people out? Well, it's pretty simple. I actually have price tags. I know I price every single one of my items. This is good for a number of reasons, including people are less likely to ask me how much something is. So someone can look at the price and they can see it for themselves. If they're too nervous to ask how much something is, it'll be right there. But secondfold, it also has the SKU numbers so that when someone brings up all of their items to come cash out, I just pop in those SKU numbers, add to cart, and cash them out quickly. It doesn't have to be fancy. It's just a small helper tool. And yes, I'll admit, it does take a little bit of extra time up front to create those price tags, but it's so worth it. Here's exactly why I think it's worth it. It makes checkout so much faster. It helps me delegate my checkout responsibilities confidently. I can hand off and go for a bathroom break or go grab a snack or just break away and take a little rest from the market for a couple minutes, confidently knowing that my dad or my husband can check someone out and know exactly what price to use in the system without having to worry. I get better analytics after the event because I've categorized everything and because I have created my SKU numbers, my item-specific SKU numbers, Square will give me really good analytics. I'm not just typing in numbers. If in a pinch, yes, you can use the keypad and just type in a number. But it's much nicer to know exactly how many sweatshirts are selling, how many stickers are selling, how many bags in what color are selling, because then I can know what's working, what's not working, and how to grow my business, which aspects of my business need work, and which ones to keep investing in. Ultimately, I'm going to have a better grip on what's selling and what's not. Plus, when it's super busy, having the system keeps the customer experience smooth, fast, and easy so they can get in, check out, and get on the way so that they can go and continue to enjoy the market and have a good overall shopping experience. Okay, so here's my iPad. This is what I use to cash people out. Okay, so you're gonna find your Square. This is my Square app. We're gonna open it right up. Okay, perfect. Right now we're on keypad. If this is how you normally are checking people out, you're not gonna need to use this as often, okay? We're gonna go over to our library. So you're gonna click library on this little item here, and then you can search all items. Note that if you have product categories, if you scroll, they're going to be here. So if I click on jewelry, I'll be able to see all of my different jewelry items. I can see if they're sold out. I can see my inventory here and what's available for all of my customers. Now, if I want to look up the new bracelet that we just made, all I'm going to do is type in the code J425. Perfect. It's right there. And all I have to do to add it is just tap it. And now it's ready to cash people out. Now, right now I have add tax on. Usually tax is included in all of my pricing, but that's an easy modification. If I accidentally hit this and I want to get rid of it, just swipe left, hit delete, and it's gone. Okay? Easy peasy. Now, let's say I have tags that have fallen off of products and I don't remember what these products are because, quite frankly, I don't have all of them memorized. We're going to type in my system here, 8012. These are my product tags. These are just simple examples. 8102 is a boxed pouch, and it was one of my Pebbles designs. So now I can go find that and re-add this to my Pebbles pouch. Let's say that someone comes up and to my cash out and it doesn't have a price tag. The price tag's fallen off or whatever. I can also type in here, let's say they bring me a city hoop. I can type in a local city. Let's do Syracuse. Oh, spell it right. And because I have Syracuse, in the description, that will also pop up. So when you are doing like your descriptions for how you're naming your products, not even the description, for how you're naming the products, that can also be helpful when you go to cash somebody out. It just helps you maintain your products. Then when you're all done, you'll have everything that you need and your analytics are going to be great. So if we go over to reports, so there were sales this day. Now I can look here, and because I have them all categorized, I can see I sold 2 earrings, I sold a boxed pouch, I sold a cat pouch, and it's going to tell me the top product categories, which I think is honestly pretty awesome. I've sold 3 bags of pouches, 2 pieces of jewelry, 6 bookmarks and stickers, and that's because I have everything categorized and SKU'd. It can keep track of the individual SKU'd items, and it can keep track of my product categories and tell me what's selling, what's working, and what's not. That's how I keep my Garden Girl Studio products organized with simple SKU numbers. You can create your own SKU system with your own numbers. This is just how I do my SKUs and my numbers. But whatever you do, you're just going to want to keep it simple, organized, and consistent so that you can continue growing and building your inventory with numbers that are easy to manage and easy to understand. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up and share with another maker friend that you think could use this information and find it helpful for their upcoming markets. If you want more behind the scenes videos like this, give me a shout. Let me know in the comments below so that I know exactly what you want to see next. So until next time, friends, happy making, and I'll see you next time.